What's going on, Cowboy faithful? It's your boy DMV, man. I'm just sitting here watching the Gary Russell fight and reflecting on the game that I just saw with the Packers and the 49ers. Where the 49ers, they walked away with the victory, man. It was crazy, you know. All week, we had to reflect on the fact that our team didn't come through in a game that we felt like they should have won. And I still feel that way. I still feel it in my gut. Jerry Jones came out and had that radio show. And, you know, after watching Green Bay lose today and completely kind of check out of a game, I thought that I would feel happier about it, but I really don't. Because after watching the Bengals play today, after watching San Francisco play today, more than anything, it's more evident that we need some changes, and specifically on the offensive side of the football. You know, there's probably nobody happier right now than Mike McCarthy because, you know, San Francisco proved that they're a better team than people wanted to give them credit for. And second, Aaron Rodgers lost. And, you know, that's another year where he doesn't win a Super Bowl without him. But the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, you know, well, maybe let me turn the TV down a little bit. Maybe it's not on McCarthy like the media is trying to point out, or maybe like a lot of fans are pointing out. Maybe it's on the front office. And when I say that, I say, well, the guy that you guys wanted to keep around was Kellen Moore. I'm looking at the play calling throughout the playoffs. I'm looking at everybody else. I'm looking at everybody else get the ball to their playmakers with simple plays. And a lot of the time, they're not even disguising it. They're saying, hey, I got Deebo Samuel in the backfield. He's getting the ball. You got to stop it. Or, hey, I'm going to throw this 5-yard out to Jamar Chase. You guys are going to have to go out there and make a tackle. I'm giving the ball to Derrick Henry. You know, when I look at the Cowboys' offense, there was really just no identity this year. Defensively, I thought we were fine. I thought the defense showed up last week, but I thought defensively we had an identity. We flew around, we tackled, we got turnovers. Offensively, I couldn't tell you one thing that we did well. The only thing that I can really tell you is that we have a whole bunch of guys that can make plays. And when I watched it today, neither team that won really needed all of that. You don't need 4, 5, 6 different guys that can make plays. For the most part, you just need 1 or 2. And you just got to be able to, you know, be creative in how you get them the ball. Not even necessarily that creative. It's not even anything complex. You just got to be able to know how to get them the ball and when to do so. And I think Kellen Moore just doesn't know how to do it. You know, I watched some offensive lines play today that aren't better than the Cowboys' offensive line, to be honest with you, to be frank with you. You know, the Cowboys' offensive line got some hell. San Francisco's pass rush is pretty damn good. With that being said, we still could have found a way to win the game. Kellen Moore has to go. I do think that the Cowboys, with the Packers losing, it might have solidified Mike McCarthy to possibly still be in Dallas. But what I did say before the game was I felt like if Green Bay blew the doors off of San Francisco, he needed to pack his office right then and there. But I think this makes you think a little bit, okay? San Francisco's really not that bad. They're a solid team, and they're coached very well, and they play very hard. They're on the run right now. You know, they're playing with a lot of momentum. They're playing with a lot of swag, a lot of physicality. They know who they are. I think that's what's missing in Dallas. We don't know who we are. And when I say that, I say, like, we're going to be that team, and we've done it so often where it's like we'll win 12 games this year. And then next year, there'll be high expectations with most of the core coming back. And then something will happen, and then we'll fall apart, and we'll have a bad year. Then we'll have a good draft, and then we'll be back, or maybe we won't be back. Maybe, but we'll be back the following year, and then the same thing will happen again. And that's been happening far before Mike McCarthy has gotten there. It's something about what's going on in those offices, and is not named Will McClay. Everything outside of Will McClay that has still been here throughout that time, I think it's more so attributed to that. But more than anything, like I said, I thought that I would be happy that Aaron Rodgers and them lost, because I can't really stand Aaron Rodgers. I really can't stand Ryan Tannehill. I can't stand him either, you know, because Dak Prescott does get a lot of hate because of certain guys doing things, and because he has all these weapons, supposedly, that nobody else has. Dak has his faults, and I got on Dak this week. I got on Dak this week because I do think there were some things that he left on the field. But other than that, man, I mean, really, I think we've been doing him a disservice, because I don't think we've given him anybody that can really help him take his game to the next level. I feel like, sure, Dak has gotten better, but I think Dak has gotten better on his own for the most part. What can Kellen Moore tell Dak that he doesn't already know? How much more experience does Kellen Moore have than Dak? In a crunch time situation, what can Kellen Moore tell anybody? He hasn't been through any crunch situations. What crunch situations as a coordinator has Kellen Moore ever led his team through, let alone be a quarterback? What situations as a coach has he been through? Mike McCarthy can, you know, and I think for the most part, I think he tries to do that. Dan Quinn has as a coach, and that's why you see on the defensive side of the ball, the defense can kind of settle down and get things going after a while, even if they're struggling early. When it comes down to it, Kellen Moore really has nothing to fall back on in those situations. And I think that that's where you got to make your move. More than likely, Dan Quinn is going to be gone, but you got to find somebody that can, number one, help Dak grow, and number two, get the ball to your playmakers. And I'll even tell you one thing before, you know, I go and I conclude this post-game video, because I didn't really talk too much about any of the postseason games, but I'm still going to keep it a buck on my Cowboys. I just feel like we really dropped the ball. We really dropped the ball, and I think that there's some soul searching that needs to be done. Offensively, we got to find somebody that can get our playmakers the ball. And back to my point about keeping it a buck, I've never heard Jerry Jones call out a player like he called out Amari Cooper, and I thought that was totally unfair. Because if we want to be frank, there's a couple of other guys making money on this team that their production just doesn't match what the hell they're making, or what their status is on this team. Tyron Smith is untouchable for some damn reason, but he misses 3 to 4 games a year. Lyle Collins played like some trash this year. Maybe y'all did treat him, you know, that way a little bit, but I don't remember y'all calling him out like y'all called out Amari. DeMarcus Lawrence is another one. DeMarcus Lawrence's production don't match the amount of money that he's making. And there's been countless guys over the years that their production didn't match the money that they were making. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that was a shot at the coaching staff, but I felt like it was a shot at Amari Cooper. And maybe that's part of the problem, man. People got to look in the mirror. Jerry being one of them. It starts there, man. It starts there. But let me know what you guys think, man. Green Bay sent home. Titans sent home. The number 1 seeds have been sent home. And the Cowboys have a lot to think about. All right, guys. Peace.